Hello, my friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of I Love Being Sober. My name is Tim Westbrook, and I'm the CEO and founder of Camelback Recovery in the always sunny and always sober Scottsdale, Arizona, where my team and I, over the course of many years, have helped thousands of people on their path to recovery. We started this because there's so much misinformation about addiction treatment, illnesses, and recovery in general. There's so much more to recovery than just going to inpatient treatment, seeing a therapist, and going to 12 meetings. Those things are important and saved my life. However, to find long-term recovery and happy, joyous, and free, there's a lot more to it. Just stopping the drinking, stopping drugs, or stopping any addictive behavior for that matter. To live a new life, a person needs new lifestyle habits. Those types of things that we talk about here on this show. And today we have my good friend, Scott Donnell. Scott Donnell is the CEO and founder of Hapbee. And Scott Donnell is a serial entrepreneur who has dedicated his life both to physical and mental health. He is the founder of Apex Company, a fitness and fundraising program for schools. Apex has raised $75 million for schools and now has 115 franchises and 3 million customers. More recently, Scott has joined the biotech world as the CEO of Hapbee. Hapbee specializes in ultra-low frequencies, and with its patented technology, it can record small magnetic fields from chemical solutions. With the use of a mobile device, Hapbee can deliver dozens of safe, comfortable things to your body at the click of a button. You can feel alert, calm, relaxed, sleepy, or focused, to name a few. Hapbee products will hit the market in March, and it has potential to be what Dan Sullivan calls the next consumer-generated revolution. In his work, Scott has partnered or collaborated with many other world-class experts in the frequency and energy space. Today he's here to share some incredible secrets about the world of frequencies and how it will change the way you see the world, your body, and the future. Scott, welcome.
Good to be here. That was a heck of an intro. Thanks, Tim.
Yep. And that was just the tip of the iceberg, Scott. We've known each other for a while, and what you've been doing, not just with Hapbee, but other things in the biotech world, we're going to talk about today. And I can't wait to talk about the Hapbee as it relates to addiction and mental illness. I also want to talk to you about your 40 days of Zen and the things that you've been doing just to take care of yourself. And for those out there that can see us, I'm wearing the Hapbee right now.
There you go.
And I have mine on focus. What's yours on, Scott?
Yeah. Oh yeah, alert and focus, back and forth from the workday. Those are the go-to signals.
Yep. That's what I do too.
And we should probably talk about the name real quick, because everyone's like, Hapbee? How did you name your company Hapbee? It's not spelled like happy. It's Hapbee. The logo's a B, right? So it's Hapbee. We want people to be happy, of course. Right. But there's no way we could buy that domain, right? So Hapbee was wide open, so we just named it a little bit misspelled, and people get it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's great. So tell me a little bit about your journey and kind of how you got to where you are today, Scott.
Yeah, so Hapbee is a crazy, it's a revolutionary technology. I am not the scientist. I'm not the inventor. There was over a dozen PhDs working on this kind of behind closed doors for almost the last 18 years, believe it or not, from the start of this. I am a problem solver like you, serial entrepreneur, stuff I'm passionate about. Like, I went off and had the largest school fundraising franchise. I still own it. It's going great, Apex. We've got a kids, myfirstsale.com that we help kids launch businesses. But this opportunity came up because the parent company is using this technology in the medical space.
Let's back up a little bit. Why are you passionate? How did you get to where you are today? Why are you passionate about helping people? And you have a business that helps kids, that helps them learn how to start a business. And now you're doing this. So what brought you there?
Physical and mental fitness. That's my lane. Anything that can help with people being physically fit, healthier in their life, mentally fit, having better mindsets, stronger ability to go after their goals, resist temptations, deal with all these things. I think you cannot have them apart. They have to be aligned. And so that's what led me first to Apex, right? We help raise money for schools, but we do it because we teach kids fitness and character, which is for the mind. And so it's all about health. It's all about leadership and character traits. And then the kids, you know, they do a big fun run at the end of the 2 weeks. I'm sure most of your people have probably donated to our organization. It's, you know, Apex Fun Run, the jogathon kind of model. So we just built that up to have, you know, a lot of 100 and something franchisees. We're in 38 states over the last 10 years. My wife's a teacher, right? So she had a need. We helped her school. They made 3 times as much money as they've ever made. And then the whole thing just blew up from there. And so that was my life. And whenever I find a need in that lane of mental and physical wellness, I want to solve that major problem. So that's been me this whole time, which is crazy that it led me to biotech, but here we are.
Okay. And you just did 40 days of Zen as well.
I did. Yeah. It's 40 years of Zen, actually.
Oh, 40 years of Zen.
Yeah. So this is one of Dave Asprey, who's one of our main partners in this. He and a bunch of other really, really smart psychiatrists, doctors, put together this program up in Seattle. It's a week-long program called 40 Years of Zen. The idea is hacking your brain, all these 8,000 brain scans, all this meditation work, tons of trauma work and forgiveness and love and gratitude and healing and breathing work. It was incredible. The goal is, how can you get 40 years worth of like meditation work trained in a week, like 70 hours in a week? It was nuts. But it was incredible, man. It was incredible.
And when did that end?
This was a week ago. So it was 2 weeks ago, and then it ended a week ago. So I was up in Seattle, and I just got back. And they take a lot of executives, entrepreneurs, people that want to work on mental health. I mean, it's like a retreat, really, for your brain. They're aligning the right and left hemispheres. I had glue on my hair a bunch, and I'm tracking my waves all week, and I'm trying to get my alpha up and my beta down. The beta in your brain and the high delta, the delta and high beta signals in your brain are the ones that you're trying to reduce to stay at peace, because those are like the reptilian amygdala brain, logic, problem solving, stress, like just go, 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 be a machine, be an entrepreneur. Well, that phrase that just burns you out. In fact, that's one of the key things that causes people to burn out big and ruin and make major mistakes in their life or have major health problems, which is what I was having.
Right.
The alpha waves and the theta waves for like imagination and whatnot, those are about love, creativity, freedom, peace, joy, all those good feelings that are what they would consider like Zen. Like those are love feelings. Feelings of true forgiveness, feelings of gratitude. My waves were like 0 at the start of the week. Okay. And I was off the charts, high beta, like reptilian machine entrepreneur brain. And so what they were training me to do was to lower those significantly and increase my alpha and theta to be able to put them more on par and align them more so that I wouldn't be so fight or flight all day and every day. Right. And so they were giving us tips throughout the week to be able to get there. As we forgave people, we dealt with trauma, we re-scripted things that were going on in our lives. We dealt with worst case scenarios, Tim. Like I'm in this dark egg sensory deprivation pod for hours on end, dealing with my own soul. And it was incredible, just incredible.
It sounds like they put you through the 12 steps in a week.
Literally, it was like
similar, meaning that you dug into your trauma, you sat with it, you forgave yourself, you forgave others.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They taught us what's called a reset, where I'll just go it over real quick, but you get into a place where you are at peace to start, which is they call alpha, right? And for me, it was picturing myself in my backyard with just being poured over with this idea of love and freedom and peace. And I felt, I just say, I am free, I am loved, my heart is ever expanding to those around me. If you just say that to yourself for just a few seconds, like 2 or 3 times. This is my way of learning it. Everyone's is different.
Mm-hmm.
My alpha wave spikes. It couldn't do that for the first half of the week, Tim, at all. Like I'm able to then have the alpha waves take over in my brain to be able to keep me in this state of freedom and peace and joy and forgiveness and love, instead of letting the intense logic Scott, problem solver Scott, the one that's why I'm in charge of all these businesses, Scott, take over, because it's not healthy to stay in that space. And so, yeah, I mean, it was incredible. It was like a hack. It was, and then to see it all live after every pod, we would review everything, and you would literally learn in real time. It was really cool.
Wow. It's similar to what's his name? Kamal Ravikant, his book, I Love Myself, or Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It.
Yeah. Yeah. That I haven't really heard about. Yeah. That's so awesome. The hardest part of the entire week was forgiving ourselves.
Okay.
Everyone says that, hands down. Being able to deal with our own demons and forgive ourselves, whether it was something dumb or hard or painful or stupid we did. Forgive yourself for letting this go on too long, letting this person hurt you too long, letting your body decay for so long. Forgiving yourself is a very difficult thing to do. And the way they taught us to do it was you close your eyes, you get into this good space of alpha, and then you pick a setting and someone that you're going to charge, whether it's yourself or someone else, with a trauma or something you have to forgive or a crime against you or something.
Yeah.
And you have a judge. Well, he's not really a judge. He's more of a guide, right? So like mine was Jesus. Someone else's was an eagle. Like you have this judge in your mind that's with you. You bring the charge against them. You feel it for a couple minutes, and then you move to love. It's called find the gift. You don't justify. You drop your opinions. You drop your judgment, and you find what's the gift in this miserable thing that happened. Not justifying it. But what's the gift? So like, for instance, if there's a trauma with your parents, maybe that makes you treat your kids with so much more love and so much more kindness and more hugging and I love you and time together. That's a gift that comes out of that. And because of that, you can have this love. And then you can move towards forgiveness of that person. Not justifying any of it, but saying the gift is what this did for me, to be able to make my life ultimately better and stronger. And then you can move through to true forgiveness and actually like hug these people in your dream, even miserable, painful. I've had millions of dollars taken from me and crazy things happen and childhood issues. And, it's amazing to get to that freedom. It literally lifts a veil. It lifts a ton off your back and lifts a veil of like scales. I just felt like $1 million. And I'd go home and pass out every night. Just boom, out like a light. So it was incredible, man.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm thinking about gratitude. And I know that I have to get to a place of gratitude for every single thing that happens, whether I think it's good or I think it's bad, or instead of why did this happen? It's I'm grateful that this happened. And this is the gift, to your point. Yeah. And I also know that I have to forgive myself before I can forgive somebody else.
Yep.
That sounds like an amazing journey that you went on with that 40 years of Zen.
It was incredible, man. I would highly recommend it to anybody. If anyone's interested, let me know. I'll hook you up. Apparently I get a discount for others now. Shout out to Dave and the team for building it. They've had 1,000 people or so go through. They're only taking like 6-7 a week.
Okay.
But yeah, it's incredible.
Wow. So now let's talk about Hapbee.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to where we started. So Hapbee, tell me about Hapbee and where it came from and how it works and so forth. So just let's talk about Hapbee. Yeah.
So this sounds crazy. I know it sounds like Star Trek. Let me just get that out at the beginning here. What it is it's a technology that uses these very precise magnetic fields. Okay. And those magnetic fields, we license them from our parent company out of Seattle called Emulate Therapeutics. And they can actually mimic and analyze these certain molecules that we would, everyday molecules, sleep aids and muscle relaxants and things, cups of coffee and happy hour drinks and things that you might ingest in your body, but they can give you the sensation. They are actually pulling the magnetic wake off of these molecules to then create a signal that can mimic a feeling that you're trying to get. Okay. So like, let's say you drink a few cups of coffee in the morning to help yourself be more alert. Well, you click a button in our app, the alert signal, which I know you've tried this you've been using this for many months now. You can start to feel more alert, right? Focus, the one that you and I both love, right? It's triggering a specific response in the body to help you kind of zone in on one thing, to focus in. It's a nice sort of a buzz meets a heightened sense of awareness around you. Almost like a smoke-free break in a way, but there's no carcinogens in your body. There's no toxins in your body. There's no drugs or chemicals. It's just a frequency. So that's the basis of the technology. It's been in the works for about 18 years from our parent company. A bunch of PhDs got together and they had this crazy idea that what if a molecule that we put in our bodies, what if that has like a wake? What if it has electrostatic surface potential? And if it does, because that's what creates a non-covalent bond, all you chemists listening, if we could get that and pull it out, it might be able to help people feel a certain way. And that's what they were able to prove out here with 37 patents in all these countries and $80 million into the technology. And so the guy who invented, who led the team to invent Cialis is the chief scientist, Dr. Kenneth Ferguson. He and Mike Butters was one of the main ones as well. Their whole team scoured the globe to see if there was like a recording device so precise that it could start listening in at the molecular level here of these things. And they ended up finding this naval technology called magnetometers. And this was out of San Diego. And these devices are like used by the Navy to search out like fighter pilots and nuclear submarines because they have a electromagnetic wave coming out of them. It's an amazing technology. And yeah, so 4 or 5 years into it, they finally got some readings and some signals and started working on animals. And now they've helped people with cancer, with brain tumors, hundreds of people in FDA trials now. It's amazing technology. And I invested in them a long time ago, like 12, 13 years ago. I gave them a lot of money for me at the time to help them get going with this mission to help people feel better without needing to put any potentially harmful chemicals or pills or powders or whatever in their body. So here we are. And then 2 years ago, turns out they were interested in going after the consumer market, and that's my expertise. And so I came in, we licensed their technology. They get a royalty. They have a piece of our business. We have our own team, and we're building up this awesome consumer technology. It's an app-based wearable. We have more form factors being built as we speak for other uses, but can't talk about that just yet. But yeah, you just play the signals you want. There you go.
So explain to me, like, let's take one of the signals, for example, and explain to me exactly how that works.
Okay. Well, there's 6. Let's talk about, I'll just tell you all 6 and then we'll go into one of them.
Yes.
So you got alert. That one's great for the morning, right? Or when you're just trying like a pick me up in the middle of the day. We've got.
And what is that? And what is the mirror?
A couple cups of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Without the shaky hands or diarrhea. Now, look, I love chai tea. I love to get a stimulant from these drinks. A lot of people love coffee. We're not saying don't drink coffee anymore. We're saying you might not have coffee all day. You might not have that 3rd cup. Maybe you do it with a cup of coffee. That's what a lot of people do, right? Like we have a happy signal, which mimics, a couple happy hour drinks. Nice little buzz, euphoric feeling. Some people get flushed, giggly. It's fun. I love doing that with the Manhattan, to be honest. It's wonderful because I only need 1 instead of like 3 or 4. So, alert, we have happy, we have relaxed, which is for your muscles. It kind of melts your muscles down after a workout, or if you're, achy or sore. A lot of people use that if they're sitting all day. We have calm, which is like for your head. It's like a checkout for your head. Also de-stress. That's like the biggest one for at the end of the workday. We have a focus signal, which we already talked about. You and I love the most. That's like workday 1.0. It triggers a certain response in your body to help you just dial in. And then sleepy. That is one of our most used signals. It is like a sleep aid. So put under your pillow, turn it on for a few hours right when you go to bed, and people track their aura stats, helps them get into deep REM. So those are our first 6, and they each, like, as you can tell, right? It's use them all as much as you want. Everybody chooses a couple that's their favorite, and they just use them. Their family uses them. They take them on trips. They take them on walks. They use them at work. They use them for bed. You know, there's about 50 different use cases already. I can't go into all of them, but it's unlimited use of all of them as much as you want. So that's the fun. It's like it's like Netflix, really, for your feelings. There you go.
Okay, so let's pick one of them and tell me exactly like the science. And I know, because I wear it, and the first time I wore it, I was like, I don't, I remember my nephew asked me about it, and he said, well, or no, actually you asked me. You said, which is your favorite signal? And I said, well, I don't know. I wore Focus all day today, and I got a lot done. And it's like, okay, so it's very subtle. It's not like mind blowing. Like,
right.
It doesn't blow you away.
Yeah, it's not crash your car signals. That wasn't the goal. These are subtle shifts that help you get into state. Yeah.
So explain the science that supports the device.
So let's get into this. So, we can take alert just because it's simple. So if you ingest a couple cups of coffee, you're going to get a stimulant. Well, it gets down to covalent and non-covalent bonds. Okay. Covalent bonds are a chemical bond to the receptor sites on your cells to change their shape and cause an effect. We can't do those. Okay. The parent company cannot, there's no way that our technology can mimic any of that stuff, because you physically have to have something there. All right. But non-covalent bonds are like a remote control charge it's an exchange of electrons, like a frequency in your body when you ingest certain things. Okay. Stimulants and suppressants and things of the like are mostly non-covalent bonds. So what if you could, to a degree, cause that sensation in the body just through a trigger, like as a remote control? And that's what we believe is happening. So in our labs, our scientists at the parent company in Seattle are literally working around the clock, studying, analyzing, creating signals from, studying these molecules and pulling off a very, very precise signal that plays through this device. This is just a copper wire that plays the signal on your body, and you over time start to get more and more of these sensations as you use them, right? So you use, which one did you say you do? You do alert or focus?
Well, I go back and forth. Both. I do alert in the morning typically, and then I do focus during the day while I'm working, and then I do calm or relaxed in the evening typically. Yep. And then before I go to sleep, I'll wear the sleepy for 30 minutes.
There you go. So yeah, so that's the thing, is people use them for all different use cases, whatever you need. I go back and forth all the time. Like, I'll use different signals, but my favorite thing is they're subtle. They start, now they affect me within a couple minutes. When I started, it was kind of like what you said, 15, 20 minutes, maybe a few tries, an hour goes by. You're like, oh yeah, cool. But the more you do it, the more it starts to get the sensation and understand what's going on. But I don't have to ingest things that can hurt me, right? That's kind of the whole mission here is, we don't really want people to be hooked on substances, pills, chemicals, potions, powders, and the like, or smoking things or whatever.
Right.
We're not saying that we're better than all those things. We're just saying that there's an alternative to help you feel a certain way without having to put all that junk in your body.
Now, some people it affects more quickly, and some people can feel it. And I've let lots of people use this, and I've had people put it on and like literally within 2 or 3 minutes, they're completely, you can see their demeanor completely change.
Yep.
Like I had my friend Macy, he put on Focus. We were watching a UFC fight and he just completely changed and was zoned in on the TV. And it's like, whoa, that was so crazy.
Yep.
Jesse over at Optimize, he put on the happy signal and literally within a couple minutes he could feel it and he was laughing and giggling. And same thing, my friend Donnie, same thing, he put on happy and within a few minutes he was giggling. And it's and for me I can feel the effects pretty quickly, typically within 5 or 10 minutes. And some people can't feel the signals at all.
Some people it takes 10 days. I mean, my chief coder, Sid, it took him 34 times of trying it. And then he finally started to feel it. And now he loves it, right? So some people, it just takes time to build the pathways. Some people, it's difficult to connect with feeling, right? I mean, there was a huge study that just came out beginning of last year that, you know, there's like 10% of people that just cannot connect feeling to their body really at all, unless there's like severe pain or something. But they can literally just pack down stress and trauma and emotion. And like, you know, my buddy, here's a good example. My good friend Gabe, he is a dentist. He's the president of the 1,800 dentists in Arizona, the association. He said he's got a not a small chunk of his patients who come in for like Novocaine shots, and it does absolutely nothing to them. Like they cannot connect that feeling, even though they have the physical, you know, drug in their body. And it's just, some people are that way. The body is it's a crazy thing. The best thing I can say is, you know, we probably have about 10%, which matches that study, of people that are like, I'm a low feeler. I don't feel it much. I'm like, or I don't feel it at all. Help me. And then we do coaching, right? We'll coach people. Try this signal and then try alert and then sleepy and then alert. Like there's ways to help you feel the differences. And once you start to get them, sometimes people are just like, I don't know. I can't figure out anything. If at the end of the day, they really don't like it, we give them all their money back, right? We have a 30-day money back guarantee for anybody. So just, there's no risk. Try it out. If you love it, enjoy. But at the end of the day, I don't want anybody using the product who doesn't like it. So we try to make it totally risk-free for people. And we're finding out more, and I have to be very careful as I say this because it sounds weird. Trauma, undealt with trauma is probably the single greatest factor to people that resist this device and its ability to affect your body. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to go tell customers who are like disgruntled, hey, you probably have undealt with trauma that you have to deal with before you feel our signals more. But that's part of this. I mean, here's a great example. At 40 Years of Zen, you know, we had one of the people that was there actually bought the product before they even met me. And he said, you know, I used it for 3 weeks. It was like, I felt one a little, but I didn't feel the others. And then I was like, okay, bummer. You know, I'm happy to give you your money back. He's like, well, I gave it to my friend. They loved it. They, you know, then we did 4 days of trauma work at 40 Years of Zen. I gave him my happy. He put on the happy signal. And in 1 minute flat, he was just like, holy crap, this thing is nuts. His name's Rick. And so he loves it. And now he's using his happy all the time back home. He went and yanked it back and now he's using it every day. So this is something that we're working on right now. Obviously, we're getting the signals stronger as time goes on. We're adding more signals for people. It's like a membership model. So it's like Netflix. We're going to be launching new signals every few months into the app for everyone to use. And so we want to have high levels of it, lower levels of it. Some people it's too strong, probably like your buddy. Some people it's like way too much. They're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They got to turn it off after 5-10 minutes. But you know, we're working on different levels of this to kind of let people set their preference.
So how can a person that's struggling with mental health, how does the happy help that person?
Okay, so we've got a lot of folks who, here's our customers. Functional medicine people love this, right? Biohackers go nuts. They love it. Counselors, psychiatrists, those for their patients and for themselves, they love it because it gives you more control of your emotional state. It kind of like eases you into what you want to feel like, and you don't have to get addicted to ingesting something into your body, right? You know, a lot of people turn to alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or other things. You know, the list goes on and on and on and on. Right. And they're usually running from something. They're trying to, it's their own version of therapy, right? And, you know, it's to mask pain at the end of the day. And so if our company, one of our missions, you know, we've got Genius Recovery, who I'm sure many of your audience knows. Joe Polish is one of our main advisors and investors. He's in it because of that. He cares about people who are recovering and giving them an alternative that can help them feel great throughout the day without having to turn to substances and other things that might hurt them. And so for us, you know, the mission for Hapbee is to help people engage in life. That's why I love your podcast. Like, I love being like, we want people to love their life and be more balanced, have more joy throughout the day, be able to enter into a work state, have more energy, de-stress quicker after work without popping open a bottle, right? And then get to sleep deeper, right? When they go to bed at night. Like, those are really good things for people. Hapbee's not a cure-all. You know, it's not going to fix everybody's everything. It's a tool in the tool belt, right? Just like working out and good sleep and, you know, a healthy diet and people that you love and showing gratitude. Like, these are all tools in the tool belt. And we just want to kind of be a part of it from the wearable technology perspective, because we can give you these sensations right away, you know, and a lot of people find a lot of benefit from it.
Can someone get addicted to wearing the Hapbee?
Yeah, no. That's one of the big questions we get. Right. We get two questions. One of them is, can I build a tolerance? And the other one is, can I get addicted? What we're seeing is, no, it's not creating addictive, any sort of chemical addiction in your body. There's not any sort of toxicological side effects to what this is doing in your body. We're basically just firing pathways in the body to create a specific sensation for a period of time. And then when you turn this off, there's no dovetail. It's like 15 to 25 minutes or so, you're back to base, okay? It helps people, it helps train them to get to these states faster, but it's basically dissipates, right? Because it's just a signal. There's nothing being metabolized. And so, you know, I would go as far as saying we're as addictive as maybe an app, except we're a good app. We're not like the Social Dilemma that's triggering a slot machine dopamine hit, and you're stuck on your phone all day, you know, wishing that your friends would like you more. We're more of a click and go engage and enjoy your life and be free kind of an idea. So I would put us in the good tech category.
If someone, let's say, for example, someone wants to stop drinking coffee, they want to quit caffeine. So can they use the Hapbee, the alert signal, as a way to help them transition off of drinking coffee and caffeine?
It's a great tool for helping people cut back, cut cold turkey. What it does is it sort of gives you another healthy habit instead. So much like, you know, breath work helps people, going on a run when I personally feel tempted to do something, I'll go on a run, right? Or I will switch up the habit to make it a healthy habit instead of a negative one. That is where we come in strong. Now, look, I love a good cigar. But, you know, for me, I saved like 50,000 calories last year from using this. It is a fantastic thing to use instead. So here's a good example. Like, we got to be really careful. I can't just say Hapbee's the cure-all and it's going to fix all your problems and you can get off anything cold turkey. Everyone's different. We have heard a lot of testimonials and reviews of people that say, I totally use this, you know, I was a military veteran. This is incredibly helpful for me in stress. I smoked for 30 years. I did, you know, this is really helping me cut that. Actually, smoking is a good example. When I turn on that focus signal, I get a very similar buzz, kind of a feel, but it also kind of zones me in, which is why people like it. When they hear the click, right? When you hear the click and you hit the click of the play and it buzzes to start, it's enough of kind of a parasympathetic response. It's enough of a trigger, a prompt to help somebody mentally overcome the same thing as a light, deep breath and a blowout of exhale of stress. You see the difference? Like if you can try to create a new prompt for people, it can change their habit much easier than something that's difficult to do, like go, you know, run a mile or go find the nearest cold pool to jump into or whatever. Yeah. So that's what I would say to that.
Do you have tell me about your morning routine?
My morning routine. Okay.
This is a question. I like asking this question. Tell me about your morning routine.
Okay. And this is in a perfect world because I've got 3 young kids and, you know, we were up 4 times last night with our 6-month-old. So this is totally tongue in cheek, but the perfect morning for me, would be getting up, between 6:15, 6:30. I don't set an alarm. I usually just get up. My body's on the clock. I get up, do some devotion, kind of prayer time, meditation for a half hour before kids go nuts. Kids are up, helping with breakfast. I've got, you know, 15 vitamins right now because of my 100-day challenge I'm in the middle of. And so I'm taking a ton of pills every day. And everything from my gut to supplements to flora, you know, the list just goes on. And then I will go do a workout. And so I usually do the CrossFit gym down the street, my buddy Lance's place, and do an hour of whether it would be lifting mixed with cardio, and then try to walk home and do my first call. You know, I love walking and talking in the morning. I try to do 1 call a day. This is what my doctor and Whitney Jones mentioned this as well, who I know you've talked to a lot. She's coaching me through this program. She's like, do an hour a day walking on a call. Just try to take a call a day and walk. Like that's probably the best thing you can do long-term for your body, for your mitochondria, for your cellular health, for just fat stores. Like you'll move it through, you know, wake up your body. And it's just so easy to do on a call, right?
Just walking.
Just walk. Don't try to run. Don't make it hard. She does that. And she's Miss Olympia. She's the female Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. And she says, I just try to walk for 45 minutes to an hour a day, or a hike or something that's just a brisk walk, and doing a call with it is the easiest habit replacement. Okay. So that's a great one. And then at home, I've got, you know, right now I have a 46-degree pool and a hot tub. So I'll do 90 seconds back and forth 3 times to get my body jumped and in gear. Breakfast is, sometimes I'll intermittent fast and I won't eat until lunch. But if I do eat breakfast, it's going to be like a scramble, egg whites with a mixture of a bunch of different veggies in it, and then maybe some turkey in there or chicken. And that's breakfast. That's my morning routine.
There you go. It sounds like a solid morning routine.
Plant-based protein shake as well. Forgot that. But yeah, there you go.
There you go. There you go. So what do you want people to have walked away from this conversation knowing?
I think there's amazing technology out there that can help people feel great and be in control of their emotional state and their feelings throughout the day, right? That's something that a lot of people don't know exists. Some people feel stuck, they feel stressed, they feel like there's kind of not many answers for them, and you know, they're struggling to get themselves to a place where they can have more energy, more productivity, better sleep. And Hapbee is just a really great alternative for that. I mean, it really is. It kind of saved my life last year. You know, you and I have talked a lot about the stress that last year was. We went public with this thing in Toronto already after just 18 months. It's been nuts. And I realized that you know, I was on the verge of a mental breakdown with my stress load, and Hapbee was the only thing kind of keeping me tethered and balanced and going for so long. And I'm realizing now, you know, all the other things that need to be worked on, my health and my diet and, you know, all this stuff with exercise. And you and I, you know, biohacking is awesome. It's one of my favorite things to do now with you. Ozone and cold pools and compression and red light therapy, like it all has to come together for if you're going to be really serious about your long-term health. But, you know, I would say deal with stress. That's one of the biggest things I would tell people. You got to deal with your stress in some way, shape, or form, because the issues stay in the tissues. Like you can't just put it away and think that it'll be gone. That's how trauma gets built. And there's got to be healthy ways to deal with stress, and there's unhealthy ways. I think Hapbee is one of the best healthy ways to deal with stress management. So there you go. And I think we have a link for people too, hapbee.com/Tim, HAPBEE.com/Tim. People can go there and they'll get a discount. I think it's like 50 or 80 bucks off. We'll make sure people get that.
Hapbee.com/Tim. How can people connect with you, learn more about you, learn more about Hapbee? So we've got the discount code, hapbee.com/Tim, to get a discount for the device, which, you know, I wear my device almost every single day. And I know lots of other people that wear the device as well. It's a newer device. So, but more and more people are starting to wear it.
Yeah. It's fun to be on some of these calls where we see like a dozen people using it, and it's just, it's like a high performance aid, you know, without having to turn to a bunch of chemicals. It's just like a helper. I don't know. That's the best way to make it easy. So if people want to connect, you know, you can connect with us at GetHapbee is our Instagram handle. We got a bunch of fans over there. Also, you can email me, scott@hapbee.com. I'd love to connect with anybody. We are launching a partnership affiliate program right now. So Dave Asprey, you know, he's one of our mainstays, investors. He launched the first major partnership a few months back. We've got, you know, Jim Quick is on the team. Obviously, you know, Joe Polish, Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, and all of these random, awesome, like functional medicine people in the energy space, counselors, psychologists, like people who are defecting from traditional Western medicine and insurance. And they're saying, hey, you got an amazing product that can help people. And, you know, it's not going to be available at hospitals because we don't want to sell it to you for 10 grand or something. We want to give it to you cheap, as cheap as possible online, right to your door. So yeah, with me, we'd love to partner up.
Yeah. Why? And so tell people why is this not available, or why is this not prescribed by physicians and doctors and medical professionals?
So the parent company is doing the medical side. That's the main reason. Emulate Therapeutics out of Seattle. They are in FDA trials. They're 10 years, 11 years in or more, working with brain tumors actually. And now they're discussing the pain sector as well. They're going to have their own form factors that are going to be going through doctors and physicians and things like that. We're just the consumer arm. So we're not making medical claims. We're dealing in moods and feelings and general wellness, mental health, things like that, that give people, like almost like you would wear Whoop or Oura Ring or put a constant glucose monitor, all these different things to help your body. That's what we're in the space for. So most direct stim products in this industry are in the general wellness category. And it's by design. Like, you know, the other path that we chose not to do was go down FDA, get a bunch of medical claims, spend $50 million on each of them, and then charge you 10 grand for the product. That is not how I roll. I'm just not that kind of an entrepreneur. I'd rather have it be easily available, accessible to the general public, and not go down the medical route. Make it, you know, definitely prove our claims. I mean, we've done blinded and sham studies. People can tell that this thing works. They can tell between sleepy and alert, like it works. And we're working on, right now, we're doing a focus study, a sleep study. Like there's more and more coming, but so we got to prove our claims. But what I'm talking about is I'm not going to go through doctors and insurance and that racket, because it's just, I mean, anybody listening knows this game, you know, it's just, they 10x the price and they make it only available to certain types of people. And that's just not how I roll.
Okay. Well, Scott, we're coming up here on the end, and I sure do appreciate you spending time with us today. I learned a lot about you. I learned more about you, more about your product, and thanks so much.
Yeah, man, this was awesome. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.